When it comes to healthcare, if you've ever had to be in the hospital for an extended stay, you might have a lot of questions. A lot of questions that you don't even know where to start when it comes to asking, right? I mean, there's just knowledge that can be so beyond our reach.
Exactly.
But lucky for you, there is a book, and the author of said book, Georgia Murawski, is sitting on the CoastLife couch with us to kind of guide us through some of these questions. This is an awesome thing that you've written here.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what readers will find when they open this book.
Hello, everybody. This is a paperback that I wrote during the pandemic. I'm a nurse for 34 years. I'm currently retired.
Nice.
And when I had to go into the hospital, like before the pandemic, I just started to write a lot of notes down because I feel it's good for the public, patients, to know certain things that they would be unaware of. So I started a journal, and I just started with one journal, and I went to 2 journals. And so I'm a nurse for 34 years. I'm also a patient many times. So because of that, I just decided to write down things for people to know to make their journey easier as a patient.
Yeah, I mean, it really gives you a unique perspective as both a nurse and a patient. So you really can guide people through perhaps a medical process that they never expected to be up against, or really just, I mean, for me, I have never known what questions to ask when doctors or nurses are like, do you have any questions? And you're like, no. And then you leave and you're like,
and you think of a million.
I have so many questions. Why didn't I ask that? So when it comes to sort of the stories, because this is sort of a combination memoir and those journals and notes, what kinds of things might you be able to guide people through with this book?
Well, talking about questions, when you go to a doctor's office, it's really good beforehand to ask the doctor questions. And sometimes you're like, what questions do I ask? And let's say, for instance, you're going to go in for surgery. You can turn around and say to the doctor as a question, how long will I be there? Will I be there overnight? Will I have a lot of pain? Will I have any dressings? Or will I have, how long will be recovery? So you just kind of think about things to ask, and you write them on a list. Don't keep them in your head, because when you get to the office, you might it'll just go out of your mind. So I always have things on a piece of paper, and I write questions. One time I had 15 questions for a doctor, and he goes, that's okay. He was very good about it, and he said some people just take their word, like the doctor's word. So it's good to ask and get things like relayed into you. So I talk about different things. I talk about CAT scans and x-rays and OR and the recovery room. I'm an OR nurse, and I love the operating room, so I do focus a lot on that. But I talk about a lot of things. I talk about pregnancy, because I've had 2 children, and I just cover a lot in the operating room, and like it's kind of parallel to what to expect when you're expecting, that kind of thing.
Right.
And I try to put a little humor in it, because it's scary being a patient. You know, whether you're just getting labs done or you're just going for an x-ray, you're still a patient. So I just put a lot of tidbits so people would know, like, you know, what to expect.
I think in any profession too. I mean, we even do it sometimes where you're so used to doing something that you forget other people don't know how that works. So a doctor might have so much in their brain, so much going on, and they maybe forget, or they assume you know how something is. So it's nice that maybe they can bring in your book or read it soon, hopefully before anything happens, and know what to ask and how to guide the doctor while the doctor guides you.
Exactly.
Great.
Exactly. And it's not a long book, and it's kind of like a short version. It's only a paperback, but I try to cover a lot of material in it. And I've been a patient many times, so I was just writing things down as I was there, and it was kind of like healing, so to speak. It was kind of healing for me when I was sitting there and writing things down, and I have a lot of stories in there, so it's kind of, and some of them are heartwarming and some of them are funny. But mostly it's for information for you.
It's going to be a great tool and a great guide for many, I'm sure. So where can people get their hands on your book? Well,
I put it on Amazon, and you can get it in paperback as it's just seen like that, or you can get it on Kindle. It's I think it's also in Barnes & Noble's library. library as well, but everybody kind of goes on Amazon, so it's easy to get that. And I have it in my high school library. I try to reach out to different places to get it. I did not mention any doctors' names. I just put in nurses' names. I did all initials.
Nice.
But it's fun, and it's an easy read. I have a lot of former coworker nurses that have said that it's good, and it was very informative, and I put it out there in an easy, way.
Yeah, I mean, it can't hurt to get it. I think it's beneficial for everyone. So they should just go online, maybe search The Other Side of the Bed by Georgia Murawski.
Exactly.
Murawski with an A.
Yes, Murawski. Well, Georgia, thank you so much for coming in and telling us about this book. Like I said, I think it's really going to be a great resource, help guide a lot of people through something that maybe they've never been through before. So, like Paige said, get your hands on that book. But coming up on Coast Life, June is right around the corner, which means Juneteenth is coming up. We're going to find out how you can celebrate when we get back.